Hey guys, it's Joe. It is Monday, June 20th, and this is Pocket with Joe. I want to welcome you guys to the show. We have game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. This is going to be electric. Now, in game 2, we saw Colorado completely dominate over Tampa. I was completely wrong on my breakdown of that game. I expected more out of Tampa in that one. 7-0 win for the town or for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, both of these games, Colorado has won. They're up 2-0 in this series. Headed into Tampa Bay tonight. I cannot wait. This game kicks off, you guys, at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right now, how things are looking. Tampa, we've seen line movement on the money line. Minus 115 right now, minus 105 for the Colorado Avalanche. This total has stayed solid at 6. We've seen both games go over this total, both hitting 7. I can't wait. Let's break this game down tonight. Now, when we look at Colorado, the Avs are 7-0 on the road in the playoffs so far. I'm not concerned about them being here on the road. We look at Tampa at home, 7-1 at home here in the playoffs. Both of these teams definitely are going to come out hard and strong tonight. Now, in this matchup between these two, the road team has had that advantage going 9-4 in the last 13 meetings with those two not hitting this for Tampa in the last. Now, the Avs have dominated those last 5, going 4-1. What we saw in the last game was, and this is what Colorado is so good at, they stop those shots on goal. They are blocking those shots on goal. They're not allowing Tampa to get to Kemper. Now, Kemper, phenomenal shutout win for him. But we look at the shots that Colorado blocked. Tampa was only able to get 16 shots on goal in the last game. None of those were able to get in. Kemper stood on his head when those shots did come at him, but only 16. Phenomenal to think Colorado's able to do that. Everyone keeps talking about how strong Colorado is offensively, and yes, they got 7 goals on Andrei Vasilevskiy, who had absolutely the worst game of his whole career. It was only 30 shots on him, allowed 7 of those in. He is going to have definitely a bounce back game. But when we look, Colorado Avalanche, they're clicking on completely all cylinders. Offensively, they're dominating. Defensively, they're stopping those shots on goal. This team is so complete right now. They made Tampa look like a team that didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs in game 2. Now, game 1 was a different situation. We saw Colorado completely dominate that first period, get up. We then saw Tampa tie it up in that second period. And the third period was such a strong defensive game. No one was able to get a goal in that third period. Both teams played phenomenal. So I think we're going to see a return of what we did in the first game. I can't see Colorado coming into Tampa and blowing Tampa out of the water. I do think, though, this is a super tight competitive game. It could go either way. I'm not going to go with a side in this game. I really do think Tampa should win being back at home. But can I bet them after what I saw in game 2? Absolutely not. I don't want to put my money there. I had Tampa in game 2, even though I wanted the Avs to win it. And I'm not going to put myself in that situation again. I'm going to look at a couple of things here. We have a total of 6. We know both of these first games have gone over that total. Instead of getting there for the full game, because I think we see, like I said, a very similar game to the first. I'm going to look at the first period, that over 1.5 in the first period. I think Colorado comes out guns a-blazing again. I know Vasilevskiy is going to stand on his head after that embarrassment, so we can look for him to have a strong game. But I think in that first period, both of these teams, Tampa knows they have to be more aggressive. They know that they cannot just play the game that they played in the last one. And they did play stronger defensively, only allowing those 30 shots on Vasilevskiy, but Vasilevskiy couldn't do anything about that and let in those 7. So a couple of things. We can look at the first period over 1.5. I think that's a solid way to go. And then depending on who you like. So you guys, we've got a total of 6, but both of these teams' totals are at 2.5. I was shocked when I was looking at this earlier. So if you like Colorado's team total, for them to get 3 goals tonight, it's minus 144. Now, I think this is a solid way to go because we know Colorado is just clicking offensively. We saw them get 3 goals in the first period of the last game. So taking that over 2.5, I don't think is that risky, even if Vasilevsky stands on his head. We know Colorado in game 1 was able to get, I believe it was 35 shots on goal. So I could definitely see if they get that number of shots on goal for him to still allow in these 3. I know he's going to have a better game, but a complete bounce back where he gets a shutout or doesn't allow Colorado to score more than 1 goal per period, I just don't see happening after the last performance. Now, if you like Tampa in this, you can look at their team total. You're paying a little bit less juice, over 2.5 at minus 140. So shop those lines, make sure you're getting the best line. And then depending on which team you like, I think whichever team wins this has to get 3 goals. For myself, I think it's probably the safest way to go is to go with Tampa's team total over 2.5 at the minus 140, because I look at this. I look at Vasilevsky off a terrible loss. He is going to do everything he can to stand on his head in this game. Now, I do think the Avs are by far the better team and so well-rounded, but they are going into Tampa. They haven't lost one yet on the road in the playoffs. But I look at where is the weakest link for Colorado. The weakest link for Colorado, in my opinion, is their goaltending compared to Tampa. And it's nothing against Kemper. It's Vasilevsky versus Kemper. Which goalie do I trust in more? I trust in Vasilevsky more, even though he had a terrible performance in the last game. That is not Vasilevsky that we all know. So I think in this one, Colorado could still come out and win it. And we could hit this over. We could have a beautiful one. But I still could see Tampa coming out and getting over those 2.5 goals. I think it's a safe way to go for Tampa to answer back after getting shut out to get 3 goals at minus 140. I do like it. I will be betting that. Now, looking at goalie props, I think you look at Kemper. His save shots on goal under. Now, again, nothing against Kemper. 27.5 is the number here, and the under is at minus 110. We look at Kemper. He only faced 16 shots in the last one. Tampa was nowhere near close to this 27.5 shots on him in the last game. Now, this is mainly because of Colorado's defense and how strong their defense is. So this play at taking Kemper under 27.5 save shots isn't against Kemper's goaltending ability. This is the strength of Colorado's defense for getting those block shots on goal. So I love the under 27.5 save shots for Kemper tonight. Now, Vasilevsky, his number is 32.5. To take him over this number is minus 106. I know it is hard to take him over after the performance in the last one. Colorado was really limited to only 30 shots. So this is one I'm probably going to stay off. I'm not betting his save shots on goal. If I had to, gun to my head, I would take him over it because I think Colorado comes out just firing on all cylinders like we saw in the first game. And I could see Vasilevsky standing on his head tonight. So gun to my head, I would take the over in that. Now, if you guys are looking at some player props, I'd look at Nathan MacKinnon for shots on goal tonight. We know Nathan MacKinnon is going to come out nice and strong. One that I really like is Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning. His shots on goal to the under 2.5 is plus 105. He's been completely limited in in 4 of his last 5 games, hitting this under nicely. So I think that is a solid way to go. Now, Palat as well. His points over 0.5. We know Palat has been playing incredible for Tampa. Over 0.5 is minus 130, so we're paying a little bit of juice, but I do lean on that coming in nicely as well. And if you're looking for anytime goals, and if you like Tampa, we should expect Braden Point to be super frustrated after that last game. I could see him getting an anytime goal here. We can take Braden Point for an anytime goal at plus 200. Now, Stamkos as well for the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 172. Taking both of those guys for an anytime goal, if you sprinkle a little bit on each, I have confidence one of those guys is going to get that goal tonight. So it'll be interesting. Married to sports, I see what you say here. You like Tampa Bay on that puck line there. Reverse puck line minus 1.5 at plus 225. Great way to look at that. I just can't get there after what I saw in the last game, but I will be crossing my fingers. If Tampa wins, I really hope they cover that for you in this one. It's going to be an exciting game. Now, Nathan McKinnon shots on goal, like I said, that over 4.5, it is juiced at minus 150. We're not getting as much value on those shots on goal from the Colorado Avalanche because we know that they are firing those shots like crazy. But it's going to be a good game, you guys. I can't wait. I hope you guys are excited for this one. Lots of ways to go with this. If you like Colorado, in that first period, we've seen them dominate the first period in the last 2 games. We've seen Tampa start off slow. I think this is a really good trend to look at. You look at Tampa in those first periods, even against the Rangers, we saw the Rangers dominate. We took the Rangers reverse puck line a lot in the first period in that series. It hit more than it didn't for us. The Avs in the first period on the puck line at minus a half is plus 182. Definitely worth some money on there. This is going to be phenomenal. You guys enjoy this game. I can't wait. Thank you for joining me here on Pocket with Joe. All the best in all of your bets. Keep smiling and you know the drill. Let's make some freaking money tonight. Bye, guys.